Hi guys, Matt V's Movies back for another video, and today we're going to be doing a 3D review. So the film we're going to be looking at is from Turbine, and it is Transformers, the film Bumblebee. So I've just watched this in 3D, so I'm going to give you my thoughts today on the video. So welcome back to the channel. Yeah, I quite like 3D. I know a lot of people, for them, they're not fussed about 3D, but there is a community of 3D people that on YouTube that like 3D films, and I'm one of them. So yeah, so today we're going to talk about Bumblebee. This has come from a company called Turbine, which is in Germany, and they produce a range of 3D films called their collector series, and this one is number 7. I have shown this in a previous unboxing video, but yeah, I had the opportunity to watch this film in its 3D format. Now with this, you only get the 3D disc on Blu-ray. Now it does contain a Dolby Atmos soundtrack, which is in English and in German, so you have the ability to switch between the two. Now what's really good about this transfer is it's in the 1:7:8 to 1 aspect ratio, so it's full screen. So that's really good for when you're watching 3D stuff. It's almost like an IMAX kind of presentation. And I've got some 3D releases, some of the other Transformers films that Michael Bay did, where you get changing aspect ratios, but the 3D is really immersive with this ratio. So Bumblebee, so this Transformers film is very different to the other Transformers films. It's very character driven. You've got Haley Steinfeld in this one, and John Cena. It's pretty much the relationship between her character and Bumblebee. Now, the opening scenes in this are actually on Cybertron, and they're fantastic in 3D. With that full screen aspect ratio, you feel really immersed in the Cybertron world. There's a lot of depth here, and you see all the characters, all the robots. You see Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and they're all interacting and fighting each other, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's a really good opening. There was a scene, I think it was in Dark of the Moon, where we saw Cybertron before, and that was pretty good in 3D. But I have to say that I thought that this was absolutely fantastic. Really good depth. There are points in sort of further through the film where maybe the 3D isn't quite as strong. There's still a lot of depth, but certainly when you're dealing with the robots, you certainly see that sense of depth. And I thoroughly enjoyed this 3D presentation. Say, Turbine are doing a fantastic job of still producing the 3D format. The only other sort of film that's still being released in 3D is the Avatar films. I know we've got Fire and Ash coming out, or probably by the time we're watching this, probably Fire and Ash has already come out of the cinema, and I'm sure there will be 3D Blu-ray for that film. James Cameron's still really sort of keen to promote 3D films, but whilst we're still getting 3D presentations at the cinema, and another one that I watched last year now, was Predator Badlands, and I saw that in 3D IMAX, and again that was absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed watching that film in 3D. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll be getting a 3D of that, because Disney tend to be very hit and miss with that. Sometimes there might be sort of Japanese releases, certainly with the Marvel films, but I don't know about Predator, so whether we'll get one for that. But yeah, you've also got a Dolby Atmos soundtrack on this release, and some great overheads. I did have to sort of adjust my system to start with, and I don't know whether that was just my setup. I found the audio was a bit quiet at times, and sometimes I actually got audio behind me. I don't know whether that was part of the sort of Atmos surround, but yeah, I sort of tweaked about with a few little settings, and it sort of settled down. And I did find I had to turn up the volume a bit to sort of get a bit more sort of effects and stuff. I don't know whether that's just this transfer or whether it was just my system, but yeah, thoroughly enjoyed this film in 3D, and I would highly recommend picking it up. I do have Transformers Rise of the Beasts, which I also picked up from Turbine in 3D. So when I get round to watching that, I'll do a little review for that film as well. So, do you enjoy the 3D format? Stick down in the comments. Have you seen this film in 3D? Do you have it? Do you collect the Turbine ones? Yeah, be interested to hear what other sort of 3D titles you recommend. Like I say, I've got quite a few 3D titles, ranging from different studios. They were very sort of popular back in the sort of 2010s, probably up to about 2015, 2016, and then it starts to tail off. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll pop up a link here for some other 3D reviews playlists which you can go and have a look at your leisure. See you next time.